So I saw this post on Instagram from Bleacher Report, you know, the sports media company, whatever they are. They had an Instagram post teasing their top 50 WWE superstars list of all time. And I saw that and I was like, there's some interesting placements on there. They had like Charlotte at 27, Roman Reigns at 13. So yeah, it was a pretty interesting list, and the people that were talking about it did not see it as a good list. So I'm going to react to this list with whatever wrestling knowledge I may have on this, just to see if there's any more weird placements or omissions. But I really want to see the top 10 because they were teasing that yesterday. So early predictions: Steve Austin, John Cena, The Rock, Hogan, I guess. I'm probably going to see those guys in the top 10. If not, then I don't know then. Here, just a little background. The one thing I've grown up with the longest time is probably wrestling. I got into it via the video games. So like SmackDown vs. Raw. I'm pretty sure the first game I've ever played was SmackDown Just Bring It. Which is funny because this was like, it was like when I was really young. So I got into the video games first. Then I like slowly started with like the DVDs whenever my brother would bring it home. And then I'd like started watching in like 2010. Honestly, I haven't watched a single full episode of Raw pre-2010. I've been dabbling in wrestling ever since though. So how deep does my knowledge go? It basically goes from like WWE, AEW since it came out in like 2019, and then New Japan for a bit. But other than that, it doesn't get much deeper than that, and like the usual whatever mentioned in WCW via WWE. So that's my context for wrestling. That's my wrestling knowledge. Anyway, Bleacher Report Wrestling's top 50 greatest WWE superstars of all time rankings. So here's our panel voters. These guys are wrestling knowledge analysts. These guys have come together and made a top 50. This will probably help guide our reaction to this list. What makes a top 50 WWE superstar? The list of superstars determined by our panel used the following criteria to compile this countdown of iconic competitors from different eras. Historical significance. Did they have a meaningful impact on the history of WWE? Championships. Were they among the most decorated in company history? Popularity. How over was the superstar with the fans? Needle mover. Did they make a meaningful difference in ratings, ticket sales, and overall business? Time active. Was the superstar successful over a sustained period or just a flash in the pan? Pay-per-view appearances. Were they fixtures on the biggest shows in WWE? Skills, in-ring, mic, charisma. Were they more than just a wrestler? Did their skill set stop at the microphone? Were they charismatic? The names on this list were ranked based solely on their accomplishments in the WWE. For example, the majority of Ric Flair's 16 world titles were won away from the company and were not taken into consideration when discussing his feats in this countdown. Yeah, so I reacted to that on the Instagram post. I was wondering like, I thought he'd be higher, like in top 15 or even lower because of his 16 world championships, but I should have known. Specifically WWE, so we're getting away WCW, so I won't expect to see what Sting here. That's one omission I can think of. Unless he isn't here, then let's just do it. Number 50, Big Show. Yeah, okay. He was there for a really long time, except for that one point in the middle. It was like what, 2007, where it was like took a break or something like that. Then he came back, and that Floyd Mayweather match. A guy knows how to turn heel and face and flip-flop. Lita, number 49. Wow, a little too low, maybe. I guess that depends what Trish Stratus is. You can debate on whether Trish or Lita was better, but they both made really early impacts on the women's division. So I mean, it's nice to see her here, but wow, 49, crazy. 48, Vader. Okay, Vader at 48. It's weird because, like, I like Vader. Vader's, like, one of the best big men in all of wrestling, and his theme song goes hard. But it's weird because, like, wasn't he here? He was there from 96 after WCW stuff, but, like, he didn't do much, though. He didn't win. I don't think he's won a title. What makes Vader's WWE run so special? Without mentioning his WCW past. While he may not have done so successfully in terms of championships, he was a legitimate main event talent and world title contender during his 3-year run with the promotion. Was he though? I mean, he had the Shawn Michaels thing, of course, but then, like, there wasn't really much after that. But yeah, Rest in peace, Vader. Great big man. 47, Dean Ambrose. Okay. Think a little low on the list, maybe. I think it just really depends on what we see here, because like I'm probably gonna say, oh, maybe they should be higher to like a lot of people here, but when you're compiling a list this huge, spanning from the entire history of the WWE, it's hard to pack everyone in. So that's why I hate making lists like these. But makes you wonder where Seth and Roman. Actually, we know where Roman is. He had a super really long U.S. title reign that he barely defended. Part of one of the biggest teams of this modern era. At the time, my favorite has been Dean. I think it still might be Dean just because I like John Moxley. Whenever I was watching Dean and Seth had their little feud with the goofy shit, Dean might have hated it, but like 12-year-old, 13-year-old me loved it. I like Dean. Oh, 46, AJ Styles. See, now here's another one. I'm like, I thought he'd be higher on this list because, you know, he's almost been here for like a decade, man. That's crazy. And he's been in a lot of good stuff. I mean, like from the jump, the Royal Rumble, the WWE Championship chase, getting the WWE Championship, like he's pretty much done it all. The only thing he hasn't done is like, won a Royal Rumble? Like, he hasn't won like those pay-per-view events, but he's a pretty decorated man in WWE, as well as TNA, Ring of Honor, New Japan, AJ Styles. That man was on a different level. Like, if you want to see like peak AJ, it's got to be like 2014 to like 2016 peak AJ Bullet Club stuff. 45, Asuka, great, another great women's wrestler, probably one of the most wildest ones, because if you've seen her with Minoru Suzuki, then yeah. Kofi Kingston, hey, Kofi Mania. Oh my god, watching that live, it was it was pretty irritating just because of seeing how many wild hoops he went through. I haven't watched those episodes since they came out back in like 2019, so I honestly don't know if it's worse or better than I remember it. But seeing Mr. McMahon, you know, put Kofi through all this stuff, I was like, maybe I just like, okay, we already know the end game, let's just or I don't know. I was really deep into like some dirt sheet stuff back then. Thing is, I really don't care about dirt sheets anymore. It's just like, I really don't need to look behind the scenes right now. I'm honestly fine with just watching the product and then going from there. Sure, I'll make like a comment here and there about how like the backstage or like the choices behind what happens in the shows is weird, but other than that, I'm not looking for like show spoilers or leaked results. That just ruins the fun if I'm actually searching for it. Anyway, sorry for that little tangent, but yeah. Nice to see Kofi here. It's probably going to be Kofi and Big E. Unfortunately, Xavier Woods probably not making this list, but shout out to them. Shout out to the New Day and shout out to Kofi. Here's the first one they showed on their Instagram post. Jeff Hardy, 43. There's also another spot here in like the 30s that I was like, damn, that was kind of sad to see. Because even though I started watching in 2010, which is like the PG era, I honestly kind of grew up with that Ruthless Aggression era. I was heavily into the games at the time. Jeff Hardy, Batista, Edge, Cena, Taker. Even though Cena and Taker, you can debate on what era they fit in. We'll get to it when it gets there, but, you know, it's nice to see Hardy here. God, how many times am I going to say he could be higher? Oh! Ravishing Rick Rude. Huh. See, this is where it gets muddy. Because I know my best right now to like the ends of the Attitude Era. I know of Rick Rude, obviously, the Hogan era or even the San Martino era. It gets muddy because I'm just not as knowledgeable, and I don't know. I guess the era is just so far apart. But it's nice seeing Rude here. He is one of the greatest on the mic. His promos before, like, taking off his robe and, like, just calling everyone fat and ugly. It's top-tier heel work. And I mean, look at this. He's a real sexy man. Sasha Banks! Wow! Yeah! A modern women pioneer, along with a few others that we're bound to see. I remember hearing about Sasha Banks and Bayley in NXT back in, like, middle school. It wasn't heavily on my mind at the time, but the general consensus was that, like, yeah, they're gonna change how wrestling is right now, because, you know, beforehand it was like they had Lita and Trish and Jazz and all that, but then like became to more like looks based, and then like at the start of the like mid 2010s they started focusing on the wrestling again, and it's like, yeah, Let the women fight, dude. But yeah, I did mention Charlotte Flair at 24, but I was like, huh, that's... I mean, that makes sense, because I think Charlotte has... Okay, yeah, I guess so, because Charlotte has more titles, technically, and, you know, she's been in the company longer now, considering that Sasha, or Mercedes Moné, is now in AEW. Superstar Billy Graham! One of the first like ever superstars ever. Like, again, I'm honestly surprised he's not higher, considering how much of a pioneer he is. Yeah, professional wrestling as we know it today would not exist without superstar Billy Graham. You know, the original Hulk Hogan. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, an extreme pioneer. He never had another world title run, and his runs with the company were relatively short. Is the only thing keeping him from ranking higher on this list. Okay. Hey, 39! Rob Van Dam! Yeah, why not? I freaking love Rob Van Dam. Like, in my teens, I had like a really huge ECW phase. Just because, you know, I was a teen, I was edgy. It was those times, you know, watching edgy shit, and just like, ECW was that type of shit for me. Being hardcore, extreme violence, and, you know, crazy wild shit. And like, I know this technically isn't correct, but like those ECW One Night Stand pay-per-views, the main event of the 05 one sticks with me heavily just because of how fucking batshit insane that was. Even though Rob Van Dam wasn't on the 05 one, he did win the title in 06, and Rob Van Dam he has longevity to his name. Like, he's wrestling today still, and I mean, look at his accomplishments. He's like won a lot of stuff, dude. And playing with Rob Van Dam in the video games, it's super fun. It's extremely fun. Rob Van Dam, personal favorite too. Nice seeing you here, Rob. Have fun smoking weed. 38, Owen Hart. Nice seeing you here. I really like the Hart Foundation, even though I liked Owen, loved Pillman. Bret Hart's a legend in his own right. British Bulldog and Jim Neidhart. They're a pretty sick group, you know, the Hart Foundation, Hart Dungeon, you know, all that. It's a shame what happened to Owen, obviously. Who knows what the potential was if that accident didn't happen. So, yeah, rest in peace. Mr. Perfect. Nice. Good worker, good wrestler. I think that match with Bret, too. Ah, here it is. Also, this was mentioned in the Instagram post. Batista, 36. Like I said, I have a warm feeling towards the Ruthless Aggression era, so Batista is probably one of my favorites. It's just the energy he had, the way he wrestled, his aggression, his fucking entrance. Boom! And he's a decorated champion, too. Actually, wow, he's never won a mid-card title. That makes sense. That's crazy. I'm only assuming he's so low on the list because, like, he didn't have a super long run compared to his other Evolution mates that were mentioned. We'll get to that when we get to that. Me, personally, he'd probably be way higher. But then again, according to this criteria, he's stuck here at 36, which is unfortunate. Which is unfortunate for Jeff, too. I keep saying they could be higher, but I also should be saying that not everyone can go. Shout out Benny the Butcher. The ultimate warrior. It's funny because I've said a lot of the reasons why I like Batista, you could apply to Warrior. I don't know. Maybe it's just because I guess you could say Warrior had more energy in terms of like running to the ring, his entrance, even his promos where he's just like yelling in your face, talking about swallowing planets and crushing galaxies. Very superhero-like, of course. But honestly, in my opinion, I feel like Batista is a better wrestler. Actually, that shouldn't be just my opinion. A lot of people would probably say that Batista is a better wrestler than the Warrior. Maybe it's just because that Hogan era and how grandiose everything was, I guess. Warrior can be higher than Batista. But me personally, I'm putting Batista above Warrior for sure. Ricky the Dragon Steamboat! Hey, welcome, buddy. It's funny, because like, he had a really short run in the WWE, I'm sure. He had the super classic match with Savage, and then that's pretty much it, though, isn't it? Like, after that, it was like, he lost the title, then he went back to WCW to do his WCW stuff. I'm assuming the weight of the Savage Steamboat match carries him this high, which, you know, is valid, of course. The match is a classic. He also had that nice little run in like 2009, and like he still could have he still could have wrestled too, which is crazy. I gotta respect the Dragon for that too. Okay, why are we okay, wait, never mind, because technically he was Technically, the WCW Championship was in the WWE. Okay, yeah, okay. Very decorated man. Very decorated man. One of the very few WCW stars to have a lot of success in WWE. Jake the Snake. Nice. One of the greatest talkers in the Hogan era. He was very soft-spoken and slow compared to like the whole macho and in-your-face type of promo. Very different for the time. Kane, 31. Wow, one of the most iconic big men. A prominent star in the WWE from like the Attitude Era, Ruthless Aggression Era. Watching SmackDown in 2010 at this time, he had like these promos where like the arena was dark or something and like there was scary music in the background. Like, oh wow. Watching it is like, oh wow, this guy's gonna end the world. That fucking scared me as a child. There's that one instance of him returning in like 2000, 2001. It was a wild return. He just came back with Paul Bearer, choke slamming like DX and the Radicals. That's a very early memory that comes to mind when on like YouTube in 2011 searching up WWE content. Razor Ramon! Nice. He had some good stuff going in the WWE, of course. WWF, whatever. The main thing that defines his career is the WCW stuff, obviously, because, you know, the defection, the New World Order, changing wrestling history as we know it. Nice to see the bad guy on here. Trish Stratus! There we go. Nice seeing Trish here. Honestly, it's weird seeing Trish here so high up, but Lita's all the way down at 49. Lita was definitely the better wrestler, I thought. Holy frick. I totally forgot she was a hardcore champion. I forgot she wrestled Charlotte in 2019. Oh yeah, and her whole heel turn last year. Okay. And then we got Chyna. Nice. A prominent women's wrestler in the Attitude Era. Good to see her here. Squaring off with the men. And then we have Charlotte Flair above Chyna, Trish, Lita, Asuka. We haven't seen Becky yet, have we? I guess longevity definitely puts her up from all those women. But then again, you could also say something about Asuka. Make a case for Asuka. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Of course, Charlotte's one of the most prominent women's wrestlers. She had a really great match with Rhea Ripley at last year's Mania. Yeah, so far, like, I don't have complaints about this list. I just feel like the placements are weird, but we are still at 27 out of 50, so who knows what happens. And I don't even know if I'm forgetting any people so far. Seth Rollins! Hey! Deserved. Workhorse. One of the greatest of our modern era. Fun guy. Nice entrance. Deserves to be champion. For how long? I don't know. But, you know, deserved. Maybe I'm just too much of a modern head, where I'm like, I definitely see Seth Rollins here. Could we put him higher? Who knows? He's a workhorse guy for sure. Maybe it's just because we don't know what else lies in store for Rollins after this. So, yeah, okay. Gained the reputation of a workhorse in WWE. His Intercontinental Championship reign in 2018. Oh, that was fire. That was fire. Edge, 25. Nice. Just made the top half. If you're a kid growing up around this time, you probably hated the shit out of him. I kind of hated him, but like when I started watching, he was already like starting to become like that babyface guy. Let's see if I can remember correctly. The first Raw I watched was the one after Over the Limit, and I think he turned heel at the time. I know he was partially heel in that year and then a face in the other parts of the year, but I remember vividly watching him feud with Kane and being a face in that one. Like, oh wow, this guy's pretty cool, even though he was kidnapping Kane's manager, Paul Bearer. But I'm like, yeah, this guy's fucking sick. And watching him retire in 2011 hurt my soul. Definitely one of my favorites too. Shows you my ruthless aggression bias, like where my heart lies with it. Great heel to Cena's face, and it's a shame what happened to him in Judgment Day. I feel like his heel turn in 2022 could have had potential, or more potential. I would have liked to see where it went, but you know, it's nice to see him do like the usual Edge stuff. And even after that, like his whole stuff is Adam Copeland AEW. Oh my god, that match with Christian Cage, fire. Ric Flair, woo! I think I'm fine with him being here too, because yeah, even if you take away his 16 world titles from WCW, he still did a lot. Became a world champion, Royal Rumble winner, very top guy throughout most of his time. And then, like, in his later run with Triple H and stuff, part of Evolution. Yeah, it makes sense. Hey! Hello, Becky. So, if we're still waiting on Bayley, is Bailey in this list at all? I mean, if we're gonna have Sasha, if we're gonna have Charlotte, we're gonna have Becky, all of them are deserving. Where's Bailey? Because I don't see her higher than Charlotte or Becky, but I definitely see her higher than Sasha because she just won the Royal Rumble and she has a lot of accomplishments, and so has that longevity over Sasha. But Becky being here, that makes sense. Becky 2 belts. One of the top women wrestlers currently. Daniel Bryan! Nice. Probably people are gonna say this is too high. But I was behind the Yes movement when that was happening as a guy, you know, watching that happen. Oh well, watching like from SummerSlam. Well, watching him come into the company from the beginning, actually, you know, seeing him do all that stuff. He has one of the top WrestleMania moments of all time, though. Winning against Triple H, Batista, Randy Orton at 30. His return from retirement was pretty weird, but his heel turn, the Planet's champion, that was fucking sick. I fucking loved it. You could make the argument that he's too high, but it's nice seeing him here. And he has some banger matches, dude. CM Punk, that triple threat at Mania 37? 2021. I did have a little phase where I kind of hated Daniel Bryan. Because, you know, they were booing Batista because they didn't have Daniel Bryan. And then Evolution came back. I was a part of that crowd was like, oh, this crowd didn't react to them coming up to the fucking Evolution, dude. This crowd sucks. And I'm like, yeah, I agree. This crowd does suck. The crowds of the 2010s were not it, dude. But after the whole Evolution stuff subsided, I'm like, yeah, I don't know. Nice seeing him here, though. In the game, Triple H. I thought he'd be higher. Honestly. They probably aren't counting it, too, but his work beyond being the wrestler, it's gotta be worth something, right? But it probably isn't. Let the controversy commence. Yeah, it's probably too low for this list. Sure, he wasn't the best wrestler, but I don't know. He made up with it for his heel work. I don't know about 21, but you know. Okay, Bleacher Report. And CM Punk at 20. Wow, over Triple H. I grew up a Punk guy too, so yeah. Watching his run in 2011, 2012, I was fully behind Punk. Even though I didn't get it at first when he was talking to John. I didn't get that pipe bomb promo at the time. I just saw it like hard cut to like the next show and I was like, whoa, did something happen to Punk? Very outspoken, very honest, and a lot of people probably hate him. But honestly, you gotta just have to respect him, dude. 20. He was like the top speaker at the time. And he's also had 2 banger theme songs. This Fire Burns and Cult of Personality. And then Randy Orton at 19. I thought he'd be higher, honestly. 19, I feel like 19's a little low. Longevity, championships. I guess they're probably docking him for his wrestling skill when, you know, he has a slower style, but hey, it's helped him in the long run. I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. Eddie Guerrero, 18. Sick. No complaints here. We'll see how the list goes, but I think 18's fine. Shout out to Eddie, man. Fun wrestler. Great wrestler. Yeah. Rest in peace. Brock Lesnar, 17. God damn. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Every time. Yeah. Not a single mid-card title. He's been in the main event picture like pretty much his whole his whole career in the WWE. His later runs, they can kind of be hit or miss. Because, like, on one hand, you have him winning the title and then be a part-timer, barely be on Raw. And then on the other hand, you have, like, super great matches with AJ Styles and Daniel Bryan. And that one fatal four-way at SummerSlam with him, Samoa Joe, Braun Strowman, Roman Reigns. I feel like 2017, whenever he was wrestling, there were some banger matches, but like he was barely on TV, and that whole winning the Royal Rumble in 2022, it was so weird. It was so weird. But other than that, let's just move on for now. Chris Jericho, 16. Yeah, that makes sense. Decorated champion, one of the best workers of the time. Charismatic, first ever undisputed champion. Can't fault him for that. Oh, and his 2008 heel work. Top tier. Mick Foley, 15. Wow. Okay. Yeah. I mean, he had one of the biggest moments in the Attitude Era. The whole butts and seats moment where he won the WWF title. Yeah, okay. Andre the Giant, 14. First ever Hall of Fame inductee. Nice. Classic match with Hogan. Probably one WrestleMania moment they'll keep showing you forever and ever. Shame what happened to his health though. He's really out of it by the later years. And Roman Reigns, 13. Yeah, a lot of people probably aren't gonna like that. There's some who will tout recency bias, but like, no one's ever held a world title this long, and like since what, Hogan. It's something that hasn't been done in a while, and probably won't be done for another while. That alone does warrant a high spot. But yeah, his earlier runs, I don't know. His earlier solo run was just not it. I was a firm Roman hater at that time. Whatever complaints he had about Reigns at the time, I probably would have touted the same stuff. Boring, weird on the mic, fans didn't like him, shoved down our throat. I still wanted AJ to beat him back in like 2016. Sometimes like the, oh, Roman wins narrative will kind of overshadow how great of a match they were. But ever since COVID, Roman has shown that this is the star he was meant to be. And hopefully it ends soon, because Cody needs that belt. But I guess maybe 13 is a little too high for other people's taste. But yeah, I mean, he should be in this ballpark, honestly, considering what they're making him do. Early Universal Champion Roman was a different beast, dude. Like, he just had straight match after match that was like cinema or just straight bangers. The Jey Uso stuff in 2020, the Cesaro match, the triple threat. I feel like if they had Roman do like a little bit more cleaner finishes, more people would think of his title reign more highly. But since it's always for like the past year or so, it's always been like, oh, here's interference, oh, here's Solo Sikoa, and then like, I guess people are just tired of it. We were honestly kind of tired of it since like WrestleMania last year. So, but then again, I guess the company would counter argument and be like, oh yeah, he's a bad guy though, so he's supposed to be doing that. But whatever. His clean finishes on Cesaro, fucking, oh man, I'm pretty sure it was a clean finish. That was straight grabs, though. That was real grabs. Rey Mysterio, number 12. Wow. Iconic superstar. One of the best luchadors of all time. Fucking love Rey, dude. He helped us short people out, man. Sure, his first world title reign wasn't the greatest, but it's a nice resume. Probably one of the very few wrestlers to like never turn heel in the WWE. Crazy. I mean, it kind of makes sense. SmackDown 6. Oh. That means, yeah, Kurt Angle, baby. Woo! When I first saw this, I thought it was honestly kind of high for him, because like it was from 1999 to 2006, and then like 2017 after to like 2019, and the second run wasn't okay. It was kind of memorable with that Ronda Rousey match, but yeah. But then looking on it, yeah, he's done a lot of stuff, actually. I don't know, I guess the longevity of it, when I was thinking about his placement, I thought the longevity stuff would kind of impact it, but 11 is really high. I don't know, for some reason I thought Kurt was going to be like 30s, which is weird. But like, I mean, I'm not going to disrespect Kurt in any way. I fucking love Kurt Angle. One of the greatest wrestlers ever. And he's a funny fucking dude. And he loves milk, dude. If you're not lactose intolerant, dude, if you don't like milk, come on. He can be funny, he can be serious, he can be super serious. Don't look at his heel work from like the later part of his first run. But yeah, personally don't have complaints about him being here, but I'm just surprised that he's this high up. There we go. We're reaching the top 10, and not surprised that Hulk Hogan is here. Did I expect him to be 10 exactly? Not really. I thought he'd be like top 5. Very, very huge superstar. What hasn't been said about Hulk Hogan, good or bad, I probably don't need to regurgitate. I'll just say this. He's at number 10, brother. And that's where he's staying. Bleacher Report, thank you, brother. Thank you, brother. Brother. Professional wrestling as we know it today would not exist without Hulk Hogan. I feel like they said that already. So, about someone else, about it. Something about not existing without that wrestler. Anyway, not surprised. Wow! Rowdy Piper, number 9. Wow. Wow. Over Hogan. It's crazy because yeah, Roddy Piper, huge legend, huge, one of the best heels ever. Well, one of the best ever. Sure, he didn't have the resume like a Hogan or a Roman, but this high up, wow. I fucking love the hot rod though. So that shocked me. This is a shocker one. Roddy Piper ranking one slot ahead of Hogan on this list indicates how time and proper retrospect can elevate one's significance. I guess so. In that same dynamic where like Cena needed Edge and then Hogan needed Piper. But wow. You know what? Shout out to the hot rod, man. Whether it's deserved or not, up to you guys. I thought that just shocked me. But it's nice seeing Rowdy on here. Definitely deserves to be on this list. Number 8. Shawn Michaels. Deserved. No complaints here. I feel like he's a top 10 wrestler of all time. Decorated champion, charismatic as hell, athletic, could speak. He really had it all, honestly. Of course, like the whole drug problem stuff. If you heard about that, then you can probably tell a lot of people in the backstage did not like this guy. But looking back at it, knowing that Shawn's a better man, hopefully, knowing that Shawn seems to be a better man now. It's funny looking back at that 90s stuff, because like when he was just out there in the 90s, he was just like confident as hell. I guess that's almost to a fault, because then he'd be like a little egotistical and like very powerful in a bad way. But like when he's on the TV, it's just like, dude, that guy had confidence to the max. He like did not give a single shit. Just look at any late 90s like post Montreal Screwjob entrance. That guy knew he was the man. Actually, look at his WrestleMania 14 entrance. He literally goes up to the camera like last match for a while. He's like, "Who's the fucking man?" Deserved. Honestly, put him higher, but deserved where he is. Definitely top 10. 7, The Rock. Yeah. Deserved. If you smell. And his heel work right now, fucking love it, dude. It's fucking great. I was very worried what they were gonna do with him when he came back, that whole WrestleMania stuff, but it seems to be working out just fine. Hopefully I don't eat my words when WrestleMania is over this weekend. But his work within the Attitude Era definitely puts him up here. Bruno Sammartino, yep, nice. One of the greats in like the really early stages of professional wrestling. Huge legend. John Cena, nice. Definitely deserved. I remember when I was like starting to watch the product like more, I was so on and off with Cena. Yeah, I'm a little kid. His brand is targeting me, right? So I'm supposed to be like, oh yeah, I love Cena. But then The Rock shows up, and then it's like making us like he's like making Cena look like a fucking bum. Obviously, Cena would not be like, it would not be a one-sided battle. Cena would also be cooking too. But I just remember like seeing online just like how much hatred there was towards Cena. I was like, wow, maybe I'm in the wrong for liking Cena. Maybe I should just grow up faster. So a lot of times I was like, yeah, I don't really like Cena, because it seemed like a lot of people did like Cena. So I was like, okay, yeah, fuck Cena. There are always some times during Cena's career where it's just like, oh god. But what really started to win me back was when he won the US title, because then it showed that he didn't always have to be in the main event scene. He could just be below that and like have on some really great matches. Like, wow, like seeing his matches in like 2015 made me start to believe like, wow, yeah, this guy is great. This guy's actually great. He's not just like the, oh, hustle, loyalty, respect, I'm gonna target my audience towards kids and do nothing else. No, he can fucking wrestle, man. He can wrestle. Like 2015 after, it's like making me hate Cena was just honestly not possible, just because like he could prove that he's a wrestler. He had great promo skills, even if it was catered towards like a PG standpoint during the earlier times. And like, yeah, it's deserved. In retrospect, it's definitely deserved. People have him as the greatest of all time, and I'm like, yeah, I won't look at you wrong if you say that. Top wrestler all time. He's becoming a pop culture icon. He has a meme that's lasted like years, almost like decades, honestly. For sure, deserved. So then who's number 4? The Undertaker. Yeah. Undertaker, one of my favorites. A lot of times you'll probably discredit him because like his stuff in the 90s, early 2000s ish, they don't really compare. It's like, it's weird because like his, let's say from like what, 2005-ish to like around 2014. Like that run was probably like peak Undertaker. Everything after and before that, it's like kind of weird because like yeah, in the early days he was meant to be slow and sluggish, and sometimes it just wouldn't work. And then after that, he's slow and sluggish for a different reason because he's just old and really sad to see. Oh god. Oh god, oh god, that Goldberg match, that Roman Reigns match, that middle part, for sure, and plus his character, like his ability with his character, it was just one character that like stuck with me, and yeah, he's become one of my favorites too. Obviously, I wasn't there for his '90s stuff or even his 2000s stuff. This whole atmosphere surrounding him is just like made me a favorite of his. So then I'm assuming Steve Austin is probably one. There's only 3 other guesses. Oh wow, Macho Man Randy Savage at 3. Before the top 10 came out, I thought, when I saw the Instagram post, I thought Macho wasn't gonna be in like the top 10 because I feel like, I don't know, I feel like Bleacher Report would do some bullshit and not have him in the top 10, but he's number 3. Wow. I mean, great wrestler, one of the best promos, world champion, you know, the Mega Power storyline, a pop culture phenomenon whose likeness was all over Slim Jim promotion materials, and still is today. Savage transcended wrestling as one of its largest personalities, becoming a star the likes of which few could have imagined when the smaller-than-average competitor first arrived in WWE. That his work in those aforementioned storylines was as good as it was, ensuring their timeliness certainly helped elevate him to the number 3 spot on this list. His ability to weave them into his excellent in-ring performance only confirmed he belonged here. Top 3. Wow. Hey, Stone Cold Steve Austin, hell yeah. Great. Legend. Fucking love Steve. Open a can of beer for this guy. One of the greatest of all time. No doubt about it. Deserved. But then who's number 1? Who am I? Because we got Rock out of the way. Taker's out of the way. Shawn's out of the way. John's out of the way. Fucking Buddy Rogers. Wow! Bret Hart. Wow. I totally forgot about Bret Hart. Good God. Bleacher Report is living up to that best there is, best there was, best there ever will be. Bret Hart at number 1. Wow. I don't know about that one, honestly. Like, give Bret his flowers, of course. Bret Hart's a legend. That's crazy. At number 1. Over Steve, over Shawn, over Cena. I mean, tag team legend, singles legend, world champion, King of the Ring winner, Royal Rumble winner, Hart Foundation. Wow. Hart won 5 titles throughout his run as a main event single star, but almost always faced an uphill battle from a booking perspective, as McMahon always seemed to find a flashier new toy to put the title on at the expense of the Hitman. His influence as a worker is seen today in numerous others, not least of which is CM Punk, who has made his fandom and respect for the Hitman clear over the years. That he was able to change the game from an in-ring perspective and have such an impact on legitimizing Austin, who would go on to become the biggest star in the industry after working with him, is more than enough reason for Hart to earn his number 1 spot. Sure, I guess, but I don't know. I guess Hart started the Austin run, but Austin, you know, took it to new heights on his own too. It's more like you wouldn't be here without me, which, you know, I guess you could make the point, but honestly, I put Steve over Hart. I don't know. Maybe it's just because Hart could definitely out wrestle Austin, but like Steve Austin's mic work is top notch. That's crazy. Okay, that was the list. Is there anyone I'm missing? I didn't see Bailey at all, which is weird because Sasha's on here, Becky's on here, Charlotte's on here. No Bailey. You think with the 4 horsewomen she'd be here, but has Twitter said anything about this list? Oh, no Bob Backlund. No Buddy Rogers, I guess. Someone said The Miz deserved to be on here. Yeah, this does not seem like a good list to some people on Twitter. At the very least, I'll say this list is interesting. Bret Hart at number 1 is weird. Now that I'm thinking about it, I don't know. What would my top 10 be? See, I hate putting lists like these together because then I'm always thinking like, oh, what if that person is there? And then it's like, then I'll just add them in there. But then like, well, what's the point of a top 10 if you're gonna have like 15 honorable mentions? It's like, God, I hate making lists. It'd probably be like Steve, Rock, Sean, Cena, Taker. That'd probably be my top 5 right now. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I'd probably put like AJ and Kofi a little higher, but yeah, like I said earlier, these are some weird placements. And I honestly can't think of any omissions that come to mind besides Bailey, because that was just weird how you can have the Horsewomen and not have Bailey on it. This one just popped into me, but I guess you could also say about Bray Wyatt. I don't know. I don't know if people would put him up there. I honestly probably would have. I wouldn't have minded him up there. I think the people that are on here are fine being on here. Like there wasn't someone on this list that I was like, why are they on this list? I think it just comes down to the placement of this list as to why it's so weird. There's some people in some places that don't need to be here. Like, as much as I thought that Sean deserves to be in the top 10, or Rock or Austin, they probably need to be higher. I feel like they might be overrating Hoyt to a fault. Like, I get Savage being here, but I don't know. Yeah, only Kofi, no Biggie, unfortunately. But yeah, the list is okay. It's just the placements are kind of interesting. But other than that, the list is fine. I don't want to say the list like sucks, but I feel like the placements of these wrestlers could be better. Maybe I just need to know more about wrestling than I already do. But yeah, so this is a list that I could be biased or recency biased. Like, I feel like Jeff Hardy could be higher, Batista could be higher, AJ could be higher, honestly, too. But there's also some historical significance for some people, like Rick Rude, Bruno, Billy Graham. Yeah, that top 10 is a little iffy. But I don't know what else to say. What else? What did you think of the list? Did you think that Bleacher Report got it on the nose? Do you think Bleacher Report's lists suck? Do you wish Bleacher Report would stop talking about LeBron all the time? Who knows? That is up to you to decide. Yeah, I have a lot of wrestling content on this channel, good God. I need to... Hey, it's just something I've grown up with, and I'll probably do other stuff besides wrestling whenever the time comes. But anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for watching me react to this list. Let me know what you think about this list. Like, comment, subscribe. Watch my other videos on this channel if you want to. If you like what you saw, stick around, who knows. Yeah, and have fun looking at this list on your own too. And I'll see you next time. Thank you. Oh yeah, Alex Riley snubbed. Aleister Black snubbed. I fucking love Aleister Black. I wish he had done more.